A piercing scream tears through the quiet elegance of a high-end fashion store, where shimmering lights dance over racks of expensive clothing. A middle-aged woman, her face flushed with fury, points at a young black girl standing in the aisle and yells, "She doesn't belong here. Get her out now." The crowd of customers freezes, stunned, no one daring to speak, their eyes locked on the unfolding scene. But the girl, just 17 years old, doesn't flinch. She stands tall, her gaze icy and unwavering, locked onto the woman humiliating her, as if she knows something her accuser can't even imagine. And in just a few minutes, a shocking secret will unravel. A twist so jaw-dropping that the entire store will fall silent, and that woman will wish she'd never opened her mouth. You won't believe what happens next. That girl is Maya Jackson, a teenager with a passion for fashion, brimming with confidence and strength, who walked into the store that day just to find an outfit for a special evening. She had no idea she was about to become the center of a storm. Her father, Daniel Jackson, is a mysterious billionaire behind a string of luxury brands, but today he's nowhere near, leaving Maya to face harsh prejudice alone. But the real shock isn't just her identity. It's the dark secret this woman unknowingly stirs up, a truth that will send chills down everyone's spine. Are you ready? Maya Jackson glides past rows of dazzling garments, her fingers brushing lightly over satin dresses, her eyes sparkling as she pictures herself shining at tonight's event. A charity gala her father, Daniel Jackson, is hosting to raise funds for underprivileged kids. It's her first time shopping here alone, without her dad by her side, a moment of independence she cherishes. She smiles as she picks up a stunning emerald green dress, its intricate stitching glinting under the lights. But at that moment, from behind the counter, a tall, thin figure emerges. Karen Voss, a regular customer with meticulously dyed blonde hair and lips pursed in arrogance. Karen squints at Maya, her gaze dripping with judgment, as if Maya's presence is a stain on this luxurious space. Who does she think she is? Karen mutters, loud enough for others to hear. Maya doesn't notice, still lost in the dress, unaware that her nightmare is just beginning. Karen Voss isn't the type to stay quiet when something displeases her. To her, Maya, a young black girl in a simple hoodie, clearly doesn't belong. She strides closer, her high heels clacking sharply on the marble floor, her eyes cold and predatory. "Are you sure you're in the right place?" Karen asks, her tone soft, but laced with venomous sarcasm. Maya looks up, frowning slightly, but responds politely. "Yes, I think I am. I'm looking for a dress." Karen smirks, crossing her arms. "A dress? Here. Do you even know how much these cost, or are you just here to try them on, snap a photo, and leave?" The crowd starts to turn, the air in the store growing thick with tension. Maya takes a deep breath, staying calm, but inside, a small fire begins to ignite. She has no idea that in just minutes, Karen's arrogance will lead her to a mistake she can't undo. Karen doesn't stop there. She begins trailing Maya around the store, her eyes tracking every move like a hawk stalking prey. As Maya steps into the fitting room with the emerald dress, Karen loudly remarks to a nearby employee, "Bet she's going to stuff something in her bag. I've seen her type before." Customers start whispering, some nodding in agreement, others awkwardly looking away. Maya emerges from the fitting room, the dress hugging her perfectly, making her look like she stepped out of a fashion magazine. She smiles at herself in the mirror, but that smile fades as Karen approaches, her voice now openly hostile. "Who do you think you're fooling? Hand over your bag. I want it checked." Maya turns, her gaze steady. "I haven't done anything wrong," she says, her voice even but firm. But Karen doesn't care. She's decided Maya's a criminal, and she'll prove it at any cost. The situation escalates fast as Karen calls over the store manager, a middle-aged man named Richard with a visibly nervous demeanor. "You need to check her bag now," Karen demands, pointing at Maya like she's the store's greatest threat. Richard hesitates, glancing between Maya and Karen. Mrs. Voss, we don't have any evidence." he stammers, but Karen cuts him off. Evidence. I saw her sneaking around here. Do you want this store's reputation ruined by people like her? Maya stands still, gripping her bag tightly, her heart pounding with humiliation. Go ahead and check it, if that's what she wants, she says, handing it over with unshaken confidence. Richard reluctantly opens it, sifting through. A wallet, a phone, a lipstick. There's nothing here, he says quietly, but Karen won't back down. Check it again. She's hiding it somewhere. The crowd falls silent, the tension so thick you could hear a pin drop. But what Karen doesn't expect is the horrifying truth about to explode. Maya takes a deep breath, her eyes no longer just steady, but burning with restrained fury. Are you done yet? She asks, her voice slicing through the room like a blade. Karen smirks. Done. Not even close, kid. I'll make sure you never step foot in here again. But at that moment, Maya pulls out her phone, dials a number swiftly, and presses it to her ear. Dad, she says, her tone eerily calm. I need you here now. Someone needs a lesson. Karen rolls her eyes, scoffing. Oh, calling for backup? I bet no one cares. But she doesn't know that call isn't just a plea for help. It's the fuse to a bomb about to detonate, revealing a secret that will leave the room trembling. Can you guess what's coming? Don't look away. This twist will blow your mind. The air in the store grows heavy, all eyes fixed on Maya as she slips her phone back into her pocket. Karen keeps ranting. You think calling someone will change anything? This is a place for decent people, not your kind. But her words are cut short by the roar of an engine outside. A sleek black Rolls-Royce pulls up to the curb, its tinted windows reflecting the harsh sunlight. A tall man in a black suit steps out, earpiece in place, eyes sharp as a blade, clearly a bodyguard. Behind him emerges Daniel Jackson, Maya's father, in a tailored suit, his polished leather shoes clicking rhythmically as he enters. His presence silences the room, like a storm rolling in. Staff bow slightly, customers whisper, but Karen doesn't yet realize what's happening. Oh, another loudmouth showing up? She taunts, but her smirk vanishes as Daniel strides straight toward Maya. Daniel Jackson stops in front of his daughter, his piercing eyes scanning the room before softening as they meet Maya's. What's going on here? He asks, his voice low but commanding. Maya points at Karen, still calm. This woman accused me of stealing, harassed me, and demanded I be thrown out just for being who I am. Daniel turns to Karen, his gaze now ice cold. Is that true? He asks, his tone even but menacing. Karen, still smug, steps forward. Yes, it is. I'm protecting this store's reputation. She doesn't belong here, and I saw her acting suspicious. Daniel smiles, a smile devoid of warmth. The girl you just accused, he says slowly, is my daughter. And this store, it's mine. The room goes dead silent, gasps rippling through the air. But that's not all. The real secret, the one that will horrify Karen and the crowd, is yet to come. Karen's face pales, her mouth gaping, but wordless. Daniel steps closer, his voice now sharp as a razor. You think you can judge her because of her skin? You think you're better than everyone because you spend money here? He pauses, his eyes locked on Karen. But here's what you don't know. 20 years ago, you begged me for a job at one of my stores. I turned you down because I saw the arrogance and prejudice in your eyes, exactly like today. And now you dare stand here humiliating my daughter? The crowd erupts in stunned whispers, some covering their mouths in shock. Karen stumbles back, legs trembling, her face ashen as if she's seen a ghost. No, that's impossible. She stutters, but her panicked eyes betray her. The atmosphere in the store now feels like a storm about to break. Karen Voss stands frozen, hands trembling, eyes wide with panic, as Daniel Jackson's words hit her like a hammer. Did you think I wouldn't remember, Karen? Daniel continues, his voice dropping, chilling the room to its core. 20 years ago, you stood before me, pleading for a chance, but I saw through you. A person full of prejudice, always looking down on others. I was right to reject you. And today, you've proven it again. The crowd holds its breath, whispers spreading like wildfire. An elderly woman nearby murmurs to her companion. My God, she worked for him. But that's not the final blow. Daniel's holding an even more devastating card, and he's about to play it. Karen tries to regain her composure, her voice shaky. You've got it wrong. I'm not that kind of person. I was just protecting the store. But Daniel doesn't let her finish. He steps closer, his gaze piercing her soul. Protecting the store, he repeats, dripping with sarcasm. Or protecting your twisted ego. Let me tell everyone a truth you don't want exposed. After I turned you down, you sent me a letter, a hate-filled rant threatening to ruin my company because I dared say no. I still have it, Karen, locked in my office safe, with your signature on it. The room explodes in gasps, some clutching their mouths in disbelief, eyes wide as they stare at Karen like she's transformed into a monster. Karen staggers back, sweat dripping down her forehead. No, that can't be, she mumbles, but her frantic expression gives her away. Daniel turns to Maya, resting a hand on her shoulder, his voice softening, but still powerful. My daughter doesn't just belong here. She's part of the legacy I've built. She doesn't need to prove anything to you or anyone. But you, Karen, have humiliated yourself in front of everyone here. He faces Karen again, his eyes now not just angry, but filled with cold disdain. You think you can judge people by their skin, their age, their appearance? Today you'll learn that your prejudice isn't just wrong, it's what will destroy you. Karen opens her mouth to argue, but no sound comes out. The crowd buzzes, some shaking their heads in disgust, while Richard, the manager, shrinks into a corner, head bowed in shame. Suddenly, a voice cuts through the crowd. A young woman about 20 steps forward, holding her phone high. I recorded it all, she shouts, her voice brimming with excitement. The whole thing, from her harassing her to now, this is going online right now. The crowd erupts, some clapping, while Karen spins toward her, face drained of color. You can't do that, Karen screeches, but Daniel raises a hand for silence. She can, and she should, he says, firm as steel. Your actions need to be exposed so no one else has to endure this. His bodyguard steps forward, imposing and resolute, guiding Karen toward the door. Ma'am, time to leave, he says, his tone calm but unyielding. Karen looks around, desperate for support, but meets only cold, scornful stares. Shoulders slumped, she pushes the door open and stumbles out, her heels now a faint echo of her former arrogance. As the door slams shut behind Karen, the store falls silent for a moment. Then applause breaks out. Maya stands beside her father, her eyes shining with pride and relief. Daniel turns to Richard, his tone stern. And you? Why didn't you protect her? Why did you let this happen in my store? Richard stammers. I didn't know she was your daughter. Daniel cuts him off. Not knowing isn't an excuse. Every customer deserves respect, not because of who they are, but because they're human. He faces the crowd, his voice ringing out. This isn't just about my daughter. It's about everyone who's been judged, humiliated, just for daring to exist. We have to do better. The applause swells, louder now, a testament to the truth just spoken. Daniel looks down at Maya, smiling warmly. You okay? He asks. Maya nods, a radiant smile breaking through her calm facade. I'm fine, Dad. Thanks for coming. He takes her hand, his voice gentle yet strong. You don't need to thank me. You stood tall against injustice, and I'm proud of you. This is your store, your legacy, and no one has the right to make you feel otherwise. He turns to the crowd, raising a hand like a call to action. If you believe justice must prevail, that dignity can't be stripped away by prejudice, hit that subscribe button now. Share this story. Let the world know we won't stay silent in the face of wrong. The camera pans slowly across Maya's face, Daniel's, then the nodding crowd, creating an unforgettable, powerful image. As Maya and Daniel step out of the store, sunlight bathes them like a symbol of triumph. The Rolls-Royce's engine roars, carrying them away, but their story lingers in the minds of everyone who witnessed it. This wasn't just a confrontation. It's a wake-up call. Karen's prejudice didn't just humiliate her in front of a crowd. It exposed a greater truth. Baseless hatred will always dig its own grave. And Maya? She's living proof that dignity, resilience, and truth can shatter any lie. Final message. Don't let anyone make you feel unworthy. Stand up, speak out, and fight for what's right. Because when you do, the world will stand with you. Subscribe now to never miss stories like this, and drop a comment. What would you do in Maya's shoes?